What is up, my friends? Happy Wednesday. Not sure about you, but if you caught the end of that Nets Kings crazy comeback game, D'Angelo Russell ended up with about 77 points. And my plays from yesterday were pretty good. I didn't get Ben Simmons, but I got Harden. D'Angelo Russell, Butler, even Pat Connaughton hit 29 points. So if you play that, you're probably in good shape. I, on the other hand, switched it up a lot. And yeah, so anyways, I guess if you had JJ Redick was like the big wild card for winning a lot of money yesterday. So for today's video, it's going to be more than a first impressions. Usually I just do a first impressions video, my first lamp that I come up with. But I was working diligently last night and this morning on it. And so this is who I like the most out of like 5 or 6 different lineup combinations that I laid out. And this first thing, I'm going to play GPP. I think it's really suitable to play on cash games as well. But let's get into this right now. My top 6. Elfrid Payton, his price keeps going up. If he keeps getting better, this is definitely one of the best revenge game narratives in the last couple of years. I'm not sure what it was with the Magic, but he couldn't put together 2 or 3 good games in a row. He got benched, and then he got traded off to the Suns. So I feel like 50 points is very doable in this slate today. And then the big stud, I play Bradley Beal, right? Am I wrong here? You can go like Dame, you can go Doncic here, but I like Beal. It's in Chicago, should stay fairly competitive. And my third, speaking of that game, Jabari Parker, what were the Bulls doing? It's time to, a 1-year, $20 million deal. They didn't play him, and then they started to play him, and he played really well, and then they benched him again. I mean, he's come on strong. Look at his minutes. I hate to say look at the game log, but look at the game log. Look at his minutes. 30 minutes. I don't know how well his D is, but with that kind of offense, it really doesn't matter what your D is like. You can get around it. So I have full confidence in playing him. We're sticking around this price range here. We're going to Osman. Bucks coming off a back-to-back. The only problem I see is, will this game get out of hand early? I think Osman still plays, though. I mean, the Cavaliers are playing well as of late, too. So, this game, and being in Cleveland, might just stay close and have nothing to worry about. And then for my 5th play, one of my favorite plays today, sticking with his Bulls and Wizards. Do you see a theme here? Love Robert Lopez. Bigs against Wizards is one of the top 3 best principles that you can have this year. What's not to like about him? He's been doing every other game lately. Good, bad. But 35 to 40 points here, very doable. He's still really cheap at 6,300. Oops. He was at 4,000, so I was playing with confidence at the 4,000. I'm still playing confidence at 6,300. And last but not least here, oh yes, he's still hidden as one of the most underpriced players. Now, there's no Justice Winslow tonight. Early on, reports had Deion Waiters starting at point guard. Even if he gets brought off the bench, great. The Spurs are not the Spurs of old. They don't play that well of defense to guards, opposing guards. And I hate playing Dragic on a 57-point career night. But he 29, 32 points, I'll take it, if not more. Like, he's going to get the minutes. And definitely without Winslow, starting him on a few of my lineups. So this is mainly for cash, but definitely playable for GPP. It's a good start. Now, on a pure GPP basis, I might want to look at something like this. We'll do it real quick. You put Dame in here. I like Vucevic a lot for GPPs. I'm thinking he's going to be under-owned. And then, let's see what else we have. You can play Beal or Doncic. If you play like Beal, something like this, you might think, wow, 4,400. That's crazy. It's not a lot of other players. But let's look at this real quick. If Nwaba is starting tonight, I don't see any reason not to play him. So I can go with something like this. Oops. There's some music in the background. Oops. Something like this. And then you go back to Connaughton tonight. Why not? He's the new Malcolm Brogdon. And look at this. You got 5,100 to play with. And there's a lot of guys in that low 5,000 range, like Dragic and whatnot, that you can play with these three studs. So just a thought. And then my other thing is, if you can tell already, you should probably play a game stack. And right now, that game stack's looking like the Wizards Bulls, easily, hands down. Might be the highest scoring game on the slate. And you could play 5 to 7 players in that game. You could do 3 and 3 very easily. Especially if Zach LaVine is out, you can play Don at 5,700 to save money. Porter's at 5,700. You know, playing with your Beal and Parker. Your Satoransky is pretty cheap. Playing with your Robin Lopez. So I'm definitely going to go there. And then my other thing for today, I'm starting to play on FanDuel now. It seems interesting enough to go a second day on. And the only player that I haven't talked about that I'm going to play on FanDuel is probably Dwayne Wade. I didn't even see him on DraftKings. Where is he at? There's just so many good plays around him. On FanDuel, I think he's like 5,800, and there's like nothing around him as far as amount of good players. I mean, you might want to play him on DraftKings for 4,800. Seems like a cheap deal too, especially on your GPP line. So that's going to do it, guys. I gave you a good cash GPP. I gave you a good strictly GPP. Also, that Pelicans and Magic game seems promising to me too. So if you want to stack games, you want to stack both of them, or just stack single for 2 different lineups, or stack them all into one lineup. Pelicans, Magic, Wizards, and Bulls. And yep, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for subscribing, for watching, for liking, and comment below, and let's continue this conversation. All right, guys, have a good one.